Here's how to spend 4 days and 3 nights in the Blue Mountains, Australia for a mix of adventure and relaxation all in the spring. We've just arrived at our accommodation in Katoomba. This place is called the Treehouse and it is so beautiful. It's a lovely little house situated high in the woods, very close to Katoomba Falls and a lot of different attractions. So we've got 3 days here, really excited to just unwind and recharge. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or so. We're gonna go for a bit of a walk in the area and then come back and get ready for dinner. If you're a first-time visitor to the Blue Mountains or want to be spoiled for choice, I recommend staying near the Katoomba Falls area. There's a huge number of choose-your-own-adventure walks that span from an easy 15-minute stroll to the 19-kilometre Grand Clifftop Walk. Do note that only the longer walks are loops, so you'll need to plan for the trip back along the road or the way you came. The most famous landmark is of course the Three Sisters looking out into the Jamson Valley. We spent the afternoon doing an easy walk before getting ready for dinner. Rustico. Rustico is at the tip of Katoomba's high street and features authentic wood-fired pizza. It's great value and great flavours, particularly that dough. And you know you're not in Sydney when we ordered the antipasto plate for 2 and got these absolutely gigantic portions. Don't bother with the beef carpaccio though, because it is the same as the bresaola. Our main dish was the patate e salsiccia pizza, which had the aroma of truffle oil and a gooey, cheesy topping. It's 10 out of 10, I would absolutely recommend. If you're looking for some self-guided adventure, let me put you onto Blue Mountains Adventure Biking, which is a great way to get active while exploring the area in a new way. The e-bike is actually quite intuitive to pick up, and the extra kick is definitely needed to get up and down the very mountainy terrain between Katoomba and Leura. This company usually does guided tours, but it will sometimes cancel if there aren't enough people, so instead we took the self-guided Mount Hay Trail. It's a 40-kilometre return ride, and the electricity lasted us comfortably, but it's still a very long, bumpy dirt road, and it's quite tiring. I would recommend this more for people who are a little bit more confident on a bicycle, and as always when you're biking, definitely recommend sunglasses, a day pack with plenty of water and snacks and sunscreen, and a light jacket, and maybe some butt padding on your leggings. Cedar Kebabs is a kick-ass little kebab joint with a long but fast-moving line out the door on a regular day, and when you see something like that, you know you have to line up. It has a huge range of flavours and topping options, and for $16, the portion size and fillings are gigantic and really generous. The harissa also has a true kick, and the tum was amazing. Combine this with Katoomba's only bubble tea store, which is also Ghibli themed, and I was absolutely in my happy place for lunch. Having lunch. Got our cam blue bubble tea and this massive kebab. Actually $16 for this size. It's kind of crazy. Look at how substantial this is. I'm not sure who made the rules, but an authentic New South Wales regional holiday means you have to duck into the thrift and antique stores along the way. These can range from meticulously curated aisles of display shelves to dusty, tiny little nooks that look like they've been buying and storing items since the 1800s. There's really no telling what you can find, and your goal is to browse as long as possible without being completely overstimulated, and it's a lot harder than it sounds. For something just a little bit fancy, Atesh's Mediterranean seasonal menu was a solid dinner choice. The venue is quaint, modern and earthy, and they even make their own cola, though it probably would have tasted better with sparkling water instead of still. Our favourites were definitely the tuna tartare, mounted on a crispy hash brown which is just an automatic win and pairing of flavours, along with that jalapeno, and the scallops had a lovely brown butter sauce. The char-grilled fish main was a little overcooked, but I did enjoy how the creamy, slightly acidic sauce flavours paired with the sweetness of the pumpkin. If mountain biking was the active adventure, a trail ride through the bushland on a horse is the relaxing version of that, with a much more comfortable saddle and a much cuter steed. Do be prepared for a lot of flies the whole way, and it was a bit of a pity we couldn't go faster than a walk, but we got to explore the bushland in an up close and personal sort of way. Drop by Little Piggy Deli for some sandwiches on the way home. I don't have any personal footage of this, but if you need a bit of pampering after a long weekend, Apsara Day Spa delivered that in spades. But just note you'll have a lot of mentally hair oil when you leave. And some of the products may be a little much for sensitive skin, so make sure you mention this in your booking. On a perfect sunny afternoon, Elysian Bar is where you want to be, on a high point in Leura Mall and overlooking the valley below. It's a charming venue with beautiful share plates, the sticky pork and fried Brussels sprouts were a highlight, and I sincerely hope your Blue Mountains retreat ends with as beautiful of a view as ours did.